Hello everyone. The Artifact of the Pack Cave, also known as the Upper South Cave, has the best crystal farm and the best berry farm on the island, and I'm going to show you how you can set up this cave to make it a cheap and easy endgame farm. The YouTuber LeMonkey was the one who found this small corner of the cave that has thousands of crystal nodes, so check out his video and give it a like. He calls it unlimited in the title, thumbnail, and intro, but seems to understand that it's not actually unlimited later on in the video, and that all it is an insane amount of crystal nodes placed on top of each other. I farmed it all myself on 10 times speed, and farmed 550 slots with a perfect tame Anky with no levels, and about 620 slots of crystal with a 4000 melee Giga Anky. So melee seems to make some difference here, so be sure to level that like always. I didn't include the crystal that was on the ceiling, so if you're feeling extra after you farm all of the crystal on the bottom, you can build a ramp to get about another 100 or so slots up there. I'm pretty sure it's impossible to reach it all because of the collision of the crystal and the Anky, so I wouldn't stress too much about getting all of it. Be sure to pick up your ramp though when you're done, since it will block the crystal from coming back. To farm all the crystal on the bottom, it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours. But since you don't really have to move besides to clean out your inventory when you slot cap, I would suggest using a auto clicker and going outside for the first time in 4 days. One big question is, are all of these crystals placed here on purpose, or did a college intern get tasked with designing the inside of this cave? I'm not sure. Also, will this get nerfed? I'm also not sure about that, but if I had to guess, I would say it won't get nerfed because this isn't a convenient farm location. It's impossible to get in here with an Anky without a teleporter, and if you came in and farmed it with a pickaxe, getting the resources out of the cave is also a pain, since crystal's pretty heavy. If you did want to farm the crystal by hand, you can go ahead and use a pickaxe to collect it, and then for a tame to get you in and out of the cave and carry a bunch of crystal, definitely use a Daedon. They have a pretty good base melee stat, and they are very tanky, especially with their healing ability. Just make sure they have food, and he'll actually sit here and eat the plants while you farm the crystal. And they have a very good weight stat, actually, for how small they are. So they'll be able to carry in a decent amount of crystal, especially compared to anything else. They can also run pretty fast, and they can fit through the entire cave. The only place they can't fit is this tree right here. That's the way you have to go, that little slot. But you can build a bridge with a foundation, a ramp, and a couple ceilings there, and you'll be just fine. Once you're outside the cave, just put all your crystal onto a RG, since they half the weight, and then you're able to pick up the Daedon and take it back to your base. So not only does this cave have a crazy crystal farm, it is the best berry farm on the island also. There are 2 spots in this cave where a stego can slot cap on berries about 6 times in a single room. And luckily for us, one of them is the entrance by the crystal farm. So I have a tech gen placement that allows you to power a small turret wall in the front of the cave and a teleporter that can access both the berry and crystal farm. This build is the cheap build, so feel free to place down more gens and more teleporters if you have the means. Alright, let's get right into this build. So to find the Artifact of the Pack Cave, or the Upper South Cave, it's on the south part of the map, by the name, obviously. When you're headed to Greenob, there's a small little mountain here, and it's this wall down here. There's a little hole, and here's the coordinates for you. And you just come down this long hallway. This is where our turret wall is, but we're going to skip that for now and come into the entrance here. And this is just there's like 2 rooms here. This is the first room. There's a few ways to get into the second room, but we're just going to follow this wall on the left here. And this is where we will be farming our berries. There's a ton of bushes around here in this second room. And we're just going to keep going deeper into the cave. And there's like a little path down, or you can just jump off that rock face there. And then come down here into this hallway. And nothing spawns in that first part of the cave, but they will start spawning in here. I don't think anything's spawned right now. But you just keep following this. When we first come in here, we're gonna have to kill a bunch of stuff. And there's usually a ton of enemies right here in this little crossroads area. But then this is where you get to the crystal spot. Just see all these freaking tiny little crystal nodes that we're going to be collecting. But to start our build, we are going to put down some foundations to start spawn blocking. We're going to have to put them kind of far away because we don't want to spawn block our crystals The first one will be down this hallway with all these like vine stuff. This is where we're going to put our first couple. This will just block anything around here. Just got to put down a few. We're not building down that way, so you can do whatever you want with that. But we will be building over here, and our first foundation will be when the longitude goes from 60.8 to 60.9. So right here is where our first foundation will be. And we're going to be placing a bunch of these because we want to spawn block all the way up this, so we have as few tames as possible, few creatures as possible. So I'm going to try and put a platform about right here. So I'm going to try and keep all these foundations right here pretty steady, because we're going to have to put our Anky and then another tame right here. And then just go ahead and put foundations all the way along this route so we block the spawns. Okay, and if you have any foundations blocking, or if you have to like jump to get up them, go ahead and put down a ramp, because we're going to be using tech leggings to get the crystal back to our teleporter. So we're not going to be able to jump. In our little platform area right here, I'm going to put down some walls. Alrighty then, we're going to have to teleport our Anky and then a cave defense tame. So to do this and not waste our teleporter and our gen, we're going to put a pillar here and 2 ceilings, if I can find out how to do that. And you only want this to be supported by the pillar, and we can just get up here with a ladder that's not supporting anything. Go ahead and put down your tech gen, and then a small teleporter. Go ahead and teleport to your base, and go ahead and get your Anky and cave defense tame. I think a Megatherium is probably the best for right here, because it'll get a bug buff off the Arthropleura or the Ranio, and then it'll very easily be able to kill the Onyx that are swarming you. I think a Megatherium's best because it can protect you from the Arthropleura spit since he's so big. And then also the Onyx might make you sick, which would be really annoying, but you'll kill him off, and even if you die and respawn, you'll still be here. Just put down a bed or something around this area. So once you have both these guys in here, go ahead and replace your pillar with a wood pillar, and then pick it up, and you should be able to pick up your tech gen and teleporter. Get rid of the ladder. And the reason we need the cave defense tame is because down here in this intersection, we can't put down things to block the spawns, because we'll block the spawns of our crystal. And it's way easier to spawn block resources than cave tames. Like, even if you put down a bunch of foundations, they still might spawn. So I wanted to show you some stuff about spawn suppression, because we have to put down some vaults near our crystals. And you can see right here that a vault has like a foundation or two of range of spawn suppression. You can see that these like little grass plants aren't growing around it. And this is a pillar actually, and just one pillar has about the same spawn suppression as just like one other structure. And I'm just showing here that you can put a small teleporter on a pillar and it won't make the spawn suppression any larger. If you were to put 2 pillars down or like a ceiling on top of this pillar, then it would grow to the size of this foundation here. The foundation itself will have this much spawn suppression. It's not because of the teleporter on top of it. I was just testing that. So for the vaults, I don't want to spawn suppress anything over here, and there's really not room to put them in this hallway. So I'm going to clear out this area right here. So to drop some vaults on the floor, you're going to use a metal pillar and put some ceilings on top of that. Put down as many vaults as you need. You should only need 2 if you're just on official rates. But we'll throw down 4 here, and make sure to destroy the pillar with C4 or tech rifle or something. Don't demolish it or pick it up, because it will pick up all the vaults, or just demolish the vaults also. You have to destroy the pillar with something. So we're basically done building up this area. And we're going to take our tech gen and our small teleporter and go back earlier into the cave near the entrance, and we're going to put those down. Okay, so we're back in the second room of the cave, and we're going to run up over here, and then go back along the wall that we followed into this room. It's just like this little cubby hole right here. There's all like this jagged rock, and we're going to put our tech gen back into this little corner right here. You can protect it however you want. I'd throw down some turrets over here. and this will be our tech gen spot. And with that, we will then go back over here. And this is the ramp that we walked up over here, but there's some rocks and you can just jump off the cliff, but that's where we just walked up. And you're going to put down a pillar right here. Kind of put it like into the ground a little bit. And go ahead and throw a small teleporter on top of that. So you might have some problems with collision, but I got it right there. So I said it a couple times now, but to get all your crystal back to base after you have it in a vault and you're done farming, just go ahead and popcorn all of it out. You can only carry about 300 slots, so make sure you don't go over that, or you'll have to put some back into the vault. Luckily, when you popcorn it out, it doesn't go all over the place anymore. It just comes out the top here, lands right here, all clipped inside of each other. Very nice. I love that change so much. And make sure you had some element in your inventory also. And then you can use the control button on your keyboard to walk. I'm not sure what that is on Xbox or PS4. But you can get the leggings and the small teleporter, both from the Gamma Dragon fight. And then you get the generator from the beta, the medium monkey boss fight. And then we will also be teleporting in our stego right here. Yes, you can teleport a stego and a small teleporter. I'm just as surprised as you are. It's actually pretty easy. They don't have to be standing on it. They can just kind of, like, the middle of their body just has to be near the teleporter. And then, so here we go. This is now our berry farm. Oh, to get the berries, you have to put the stego in attack mode, which is its third form, I guess you would call it. And then we farm our berries, and once you slot cap, which is like almost immediately. Say, I probably don't want to go, I don't want to go do a big swing because I'll slot cap soon. Just do a little bit at a time here. Don't want to waste any berries. So we slot cap, and you're going to take your stego back. This is a level 225 stego, so it's just like a perfect tame 150. Let me give it some levels. So to level the stego, so this is a slot cap of berries right here. They only weigh 2.5 on the stego, so this is how much it needs to carry a slot cap. I would just give it a little bit more, just so it can walk fast even when it's encumbered. I think 50% is when stuff starts slowing down, so I'd probably do that, and then just the rest into melee. I don't know how much melee affects berry gain, but it doesn't really matter because the stego's getting so much. But once you got all the weight to move fast, then just pump it into melee then. You bring it onto this teleporter. It can be kind of annoying to, when you get off here, you might get put into the vines like this. So that can be annoying. But you can just teleport the stego like this. Again, this is the cheapest way to do this. You can make it more convenient for yourself. I would put a teleporter on top of a pillar and not on a foundation, or you will spawn suppress so many berries. Say I would probably like put it back in this area. You can also put your tech gen further up over here, like almost towards the entrance of the cave. And then you will be able to put your wall like further outside of the cave and not inside the cave. Right now, I will show you the tech gen range. Let's say over here, it stops at this doorway right here. So you can put a teleporter down here if you want, so you don't have to walk all the way up that ramp with all your crystal with tech leggings. That's just a good middle area right there for the berry farm and the crystal farm. But if you move your gen up all the way to the entrance, it will basically stop right here in the second room. So you can just sacrifice some berries right here and put down a teleporter. You can put down a teleporter in this room because if you move your wall up, you won't be spawn suppressing a ton of plants in here. And then if you moved your gen up, you'll also like have all this room in front of the cave to build like a turret tower or something if you so desired to defend it more. Right now, this is just like a slight way to ward off enemies. We have about 13 turrets here. It's kind of hard to see. Cool, there we go. So none of these turrets are being blocked by each other, and that's kind of the thing that limits the cave defense right now, is that some turrets block other turrets, and I don't have all the settings put, and if you have any better recommendations, please say. I am not the most versed on PvP building at the moment. I'll definitely get better, and if you tell me in the comments, then it'll be much better quicker, and what to put these settings on. Because on high right now, high turrets can shoot like pretty far outside this cave. If you put them on medium, it won't start shooting till you're more inside the cave. A trike and a stego cannot fit in the front of the cave. I'm so sorry about the lag. It's just so bad in this cave. A trike and a stego cannot fit into the cave. They stop at the entrance right here, but a turtle can. Yeah, if you whistle in the turtle, it is not very good at getting through here. He either gets stuck right there or gets stuck further in here, like on this part, and he's not good at getting in on his own. Someone else could ride one in and definitely make it work. So if you have any recommendations for the defense, go ahead. I'm not going to show you how I built it, because I mean, it's literally just putting down a wall and placing turrets so they're not blocking each other. Just make sure you test it by like unclaiming one of your dinos and seeing the turrets shoot. I'm not too confident this is the best way to defend it, but it's not really a big deal to defend this cave because we don't have anything in here besides a tech gen and a teleporter and a few tames. Also, if you're trying to be cheap, you can use this gen to put a teleporter and a few turrets up here so people don't mess with it. Then you have a land teleporter to the south. If you come in here to this ruins room deeper into the cave, this is where the other berry farm is. All of these bushes you will slot cap like 6-7 times. And then also in this room back here, you can just keep going. These branches will block the stego. You can't get them out of the way. They're just permanent there. So if you put another teleporter in this room, then you can also farm all of this and then all up this ramp, which is a ton more berries. So I'd put my gen here somewhere, wherever it allows me, about right there. Not the best PvP location, but I'll show you where this one gen can reach with this spot. You will be able to put a little teleporter down over here, which will then take you to the artifact, and you can just grab those constantly. And then you can go ahead and put down a pillar right here and a small teleporter, and you'll be able to teleport into this room and farm it with a stego also. Subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any important in-depth information like this. Comment anything informative, inquisitive, or positive. Like if this helped you, and check out one of these videos on the screen. See ya.